Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Pretty Fly First Senpai.
Woo!
I'm Time Muffin, and I am comprised entirely of nanomachines.
Oh no.
I'm Shark Wellington, and I likewise have many small lives inside of me right now.
I'm Hero 19X, and I'm feeling a sort of way.
Oh man,
All these little machines inside me.
I'm like a fizzy soda pop.
oh no,
My blood is all bubbly.
Oh, no.
not the bubble. Shark, that was hydrogen peroxide. Why would you do this? Well, today we're going to talk about the Cowboy Bebop movie, Knockin' on Heaven's Door.
Yeah.
Which is just it's a really long episode. This is what
That's pretty much what I got out of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
vibe I got. So like Faye's immortal now. She's got the nanomachines inside of her. we're just
Yeah,
gonna,
they didn't really touch on that, I guess.
no, not really. I think dude blew himself up with a grenade after the dope train fight. They have this sweet train fist fight, and then dude just like palms a grenade and is like, "Yo, we're going for this." And then he just shows up later in his apartment.
The way that I took it was I thought it wasn't a grenade. It was more of just a grenade that had just the nano little boys and girls inside of the grenade. But then like it wouldn't explain why the train went boom. I don't know. I don't think that Faye's immortal per se. I just think it was just more of the guy was just saying, "Oh, you're immortal now," because he was gonna do the whole Jack-o'-lantern rain death upon you thing. That's what I was thinking, but
I get that.
That's how I took it.
I can see that.
I mean, they never really showed him having any crazy regenerative powers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there wasn't any Deadpool Wolverine stuff going on.
True.
I took it more as he pulled something and like at the very last instant did an anime. I'm suddenly 20 feet in that direction and the grenade is nowhere close type deal.
That is very anime. That is incredibly anime.
Some might say kawaii desume.
I'm gonna do the most anime move right now.
Teleports behind you.
No.
Another personal kid.
The whole nano machines bit definitely brought me back because I remember as a kid that was every late 90s early 2000s plot.
Oh yeah.
Was,
yeah.
Oh no, they got the nano machines.
Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid, whatever, all of those.
Yeah, you were at the mercy of what they would do depended on the rating of the movie you were watching. Because I swear there was also like Agent Cody Banks had nanomachines. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I went to see that movie in theaters. I don't remember a single thing about it, but you probably. That sounds about right. I could believe it. It's so confused. Like, I don't know. Like, so I watched the dub of this, and I don't know. Ed is way more annoying in the dub than the sub.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I did like her lymphocyte song,
Yeah.
but like, why do the police not have? And I thought about this during the series. We were watching that too, but I didn't bring it up in the episode. Why don't the police have the things that they do? Like, I understand not having the hacker, but like the little like circular microwave that they put the things in and analyze them. Why don't the police have that?
That was a bit of a point of contention for me. That I get that they happened upon that guy in the alleyway that gave them the fresh nanobots to work with, but just the fact that the police had zero idea whatsoever, I don't know.
They're just sitting here trying to analyze in this like this big lab, and you're thinking, man, they'll get it, they got it. No, but you know, good old Spike and everyone else just got a little microwave that we'll tell them what's in it.
Like 4 people just chilling, hanging out, staring at a screen, waiting for the microwave to tell them what's inside the little marble.
They had a lot of convenient coincidences.
They did.
They did.
It's true.
Speaking of that guy in the alleyway, was that the guy that made the nano machines? I'm trying to piece together the movie because it got a little bit out of hand.
He called him Rashid at the end, and they figured out that was the dude's name that was working on macadamia nuts or whatever their code name for the for the stuff was.
Yep.
The nut that can't be seen by the human eye.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that was the same guy.
Yeah, they even not the end, but near the end, Spike was sitting on the steps smoking trying to smoke a cigarette, and the guy came up to him, and they talked about it.
Okay.
That makes sense. I did like the whole that vase is perfect for you.
The vase is perfect for you.
Where he's just randomly stumbles upon a man who happens to know about the nano machines that he's looking for.
Yeah. I don't know why he felt all right just giving him those. Maybe he already knew Spike from hearing about him elsewhere.
Maybe.
Because otherwise Spike was just a random guy in an alleyway looking for drugs.
Yeah, I was even gonna say too. I mean, Spike is a bounty hunter. He doesn't have to help, the Earth. He doesn't have to do what he does half the time. So I mean, for some random guy to just be like, here's the fate of this world in your hands. Here you go.
I feel like the henchman besides Vincent, the video game nerd guy.
Oh yeah, the hacker.
Oh, I loved that guy so much.
Oh, I hated him so much.
I love these 2D video games.
He really wanted to see Sporky Doggy, okay?
That's all he wanted.
Was that what it was? Sporky Doggy?
Sporky Doggy.
I think it was Sporky Doggy.
He was 500 points away from his dream, and I can feel that.
It's taken away.
Sporky Doggy.
It was his dying thought.
It was his dying thought. He died wanting to meet Sporky Doggy. I wanted to meet Sporky Doggy. That accent was rough. I think that's the reason I dislike it. The VA direction was a little rough on that guy. Maybe that's why I watch subs instead of dubs. I get too into analyzing and critiquing VA a little bit too hard. But no. He was an interesting guy, but the way he got so mad when Faye shot that screen. Also, why did she shoot the screen instead of apprehending him immediately?
Because it was, the cool thing.
They needed plot to happen.
That too. If she hadn't shot this screen, he would have just gone willingly, just as long as she let him get 500 more points.
Yep.
Yeah. just get more points, damn it.
You shouldn't have done that. You should have messed with Sporky Doggy. Sporky. I think that's why I couldn't figure out exactly what the dog's name was, because it was Sporky Doggy.
It was crazy accent.
At first I was like, is he saying donkey?
I can see that.
Donkey.
I can see that.
Donkey.
Donkey.
I was actually kind of sad that he died so early. I was invested.
I agree.
I was ready.
He had so much more to live for, like meeting Sporky Doggy.
Yeah, I was about to say meeting Sporky Doggy. That's the only thing I could think of. I mean, I like how he was talking about our old school video games. I mean,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like the framing of that whole scene where he's playing, all these holographic video games nowadays. This is the old school stuff. And then he goes, oh, I died. And then Vincent shoots the cop in the head outside the door. Oh, he died. I don't know. I think that part of the reason I didn't like it was because he's like, I always wanted to do a terrorism.
Do a terrorism.
I don't know. It felt a little wild.
Probably as good a segue as we're gonna get to talk about when this movie was released.
Oh yeah.
Which is September 1st, 2001.
Yeah.
Which it's like one of the last of the movies released before 9/11, and
Yeah.
I remember like right afterwards. There were a few movies that got scrubbed. The one that I do know of offhand is Lilo and Stitch.
That's right.
There was a scene where they were trying to dodge a skyscraper with an airplane, and they were like, "No, we're not doing skyscrapers and airplanes right now." But yeah, like the bioterrorism angle, and the car bomb in the street.
Yeah, tankers exploding, and yeah, explicitly talking about wanting to do terrorism. And be terrorists, and yeah, it's definitely, yeah, if that had come out 10 days later, they wouldn't have been able to do any of that.
Oh yeah, pretty much have to do a whole new movie.
One thing that I kind of like that it was all around like Halloween.
Yeah,
I think it's cool that like you don't get a lot of like outside of horror, you don't get a lot of like Halloween centered movies, like action movies especially. It's always, I don't know, like if there's a holiday that you're gonna associate with an action movie, it's I can't think of a holiday you'd associate with an action movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never seen a Halloween, centered one before. Or at least one doesn't jump to mind, and it's very cool.
Yeah, I like how even the bad boy Vincent, he had a witch hat on, like he was getting the spirit of Halloween.
He was vibing.
He was vibing.
To me, Halloween was it's not that I think it was a bad choice, but I just kind of felt like it didn't necessarily matter which holiday they'd chosen. I think that the plot with the parade and the balloons would work just as well on Thanksgiving if they wanted to go that route.
I agree. I'm wondering if it wouldn't have been like a cultural thing. Like maybe it was a Japan doesn't know what the hell a Thanksgiving is.
Could. I mean, yeah, I don't think they celebrate it.
That's the only thing I could think of that would be like, well, I guess we'll choose another holiday that maybe they could have a parade. I don't know.
I liked the bit where Ed was trying to get information and going door to door. And like knocks on the one door and a guy comes out with a shotgun, like Halloween's tomorrow. Get off my porch.
Literal get off my lawn.
With a shotgun.
Like, it's so
I
good.
feel like in this film we kind of get confirmation that Ed is not a boy, but Ed is a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like that was pretty cool.
It is interesting. I was going to bring that up at some point that, yeah, they kind of, the whole series, they don't really explicitly state anything. And then they kind of do, like, very explicitly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I appreciated, I guess, having Ed say that because that's fine. I don't think my kind of thought on the original series, I don't think Edward ever corrected anybody. This was the first time Edward said, "No, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl," which
yeah, no, she would just let people think whatever they wanted to think, and that was that. Whereas she corrects him, and he's like, "Ed's a little girl." And he's like, "Get away from me! I got a reputation to uphold over here." It's like,
oh my gosh,
what kind of a reputation?
I don't even want to think too long on it. Yeah.
I got, I don't know. I don't want to speculate.
Sus. Yeah, I don't want to guess.
Yeah. Don't want to speculate on that one, but that was just like, okay, I guess that's one way to end the scene.
I have to say that in the movie, Ed and Ein kind of felt like these magical plot forwarding devices. Just I don't know.
They were the Deus Ex Machina of this movie for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ein showed more like human personality too, like the human intelligence they talked about.
To me, Edward is a super smart hacker, but I don't know. It kind of felt like also being a biological expert wasn't something that I kind of felt was also in Ed's wheelhouse, but all right, sure. Now Ed also, knows all about blood cells and
lymphocyte.
Yeah.
She did seem, her and I were very much like Deus Ex Machina machines for the entire plot. I do like like I do like that they gave Ein more of the human intelligence, but yeah, they were very much only around to move the plot forward and just kind of appeared when it was very convenient for them to appear.
I was disappointed in general about Jet because first things first, his voice is different somehow, and I looked it up.
110%.
I looked it up, and it's the same voice actor according to the internet. I don't know what went on there.
He sounded way more like Old Man Rom to me in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I thought he sounded less.
Really? Okay. Because I went back and listened to it again because I'm like, damn, he just sounds exactly like Old Man Rom to me in the movie. And then I went to watch the thing and I'm like, okay, maybe because I watched the sub for the full season. But yeah, it's like, yeah, Jet was a little off. Like he kind of didn't. What did he do?
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, Jet really didn't do anything.
He just sat in the Bebop, and when Spike would go off to do so, he'd be like, Spike, don't you go do that thing. And then Spike flies away.
Why don't you call anymore, Spike?
Yeah. You never call your dad no more. All I do is sit here and eat my amazing Ripcord noodles.
The Ripcord noodles is such a revelation. I need Ripcord noodles in my life so bad.
I saw that and I was like, this is amazing. The future's incredible. I don't need anything but these Ripcord noodles. I don't care what the dystopia is. Just give me these noodles.
I don't even need protein. Just give me the Ripcord noodles.
You mean the noodles?
And the fake protein that lives inside of it, the Soylent Green, whatever is in there. I don't care. Give it to me. Yeah, I felt like sorry, I was thinking about noodles. I started thinking about the convenience store and just thinking about the action scenes and just how well animated they were.
I was about to say, I feel like this movie was really well animated. Whenever Spike was doing a lot of fighting, there was a lot more fighting in this than I feel like than in a couple episodes of the anime. And it was really good. It was nice to see actually Spike's like training like put to use in the movie.
Yeah, like every aspect of his badassness was on display in the movie. It was. You got to see him shoot guns at dudes. You got to see him punch and kick a dude. Whew. You got to see him fly a spaceship.
He was using a mop handle, like That's a mop. Right. He was mopping up everything.
I loved it.
That was probably my favorite fight scene. There was the mop.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
I think that was also like my favorite music. What was you guys' favorite?
Oh, there were so many. I like honestly the opening. The thing that's interesting about it, just for the music in general, is it had such a different feel compared to the series, but it was still all excellent. I really liked, I think my favorite bit of music was the opening music. What was it? What's up? That song.
The opening sets the tone for the movie. And I would agree with Time Muffin there. It was a bop.
Yeah, the animation for that was really crazy good too. Like timed with of the drops in the music and lip syncing really well. Yeah, it felt so nice to have it. Like it really did just set up everything really well and kind of tell you the tone. It's like this isn't like dark noir. It is dark, but it's not like brooding as much. Maybe.
I really liked that they upgraded the quality for the movie, but they didn't alter the DNA of the show. It felt like a high quality episode and a long episode, but it didn't feel like how some TV series will have a movie and it's like suddenly this, realistic series, they take on Godzilla and then go to space and they become millionaires and lose it all in Vegas. Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It really made me feel like they took this episode out of the anime and just stretched it out.
Mm-hmm. It still had all the bones. It had Faye being a dummy and letting a target get free because she wants to be cool. She then gets captured.
She gets captured again.
And subsequently saved by the bad guy. Yeah, I don't know. I wish Faye did more.
Yeah.
I wish Faye was more independently strong, kind of. I don't know. I guess she didn't quite do that very much in this series either, but
I think we are all skirting around a scene, the one in the apartment.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. I wasn't talking about that scene specifically.
You forgot about that.
I forgot about the what? How do I even want to say it without just saying it? I mean, it was sexual assault. Let's go there. It's the dude was like, "You and me are gonna be the only two alive on this planet," and then like cuts her top open.
It didn't feel necessary.
Yeah.
It didn't like, we already know this is a bad guy and we already dislike him. You know, we've seen him setting off bombs and killing people recklessly, whatever.
Mhm.
I didn't feel like it was, first off, it didn't feel in character with the rest of the stuff that he did to me.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't
No, it really
seem like that kind of psychopath, you know? And then when Faye says, yeah, no, thank you, then he just leaves her and he's like, okay, I didn't care anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why'd you do it?
What was the purpose of that whole scene? Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end, he's like, he gets shot after surviving a tanker explosion and a grenade explosion, and what else? What else did he survive? I thought there was one other thing, but he gets shot by what's her name, Elektra.
It's a strong name.
And he's like, she's the woman that I know I loved. And it's like, okay, you went a little crazy there in the middle, in the second act there, buddy. I don't know if that redeems your character that much. I understand that was the goal there, but I don't think it worked.
In general, Victor's motivations don't really make too much sense to me. I think they were kind of saying that because his brain was wiped, he sort of just took on a new random personality, and this one happened to be super violent.
I didn't get that part of it either, other than like at the end when he's talking to Spike, he's like, is this a dream that I can't wake up from?
Mhm.
Or are my dreams where I am constantly experimented on and tortured? Is that real life? Like, what's real life and what's a dream? I can't tell anymore.
I was just really confused that dude, like, he was super strong for no reason. And I feel like there was nothing that stated like he was like he had like extra super strength or anything crazy like that. And he was able to like literally twist Spike's like like insides. I don't like what.
He twisted his like rib cage. He broke his skin with his fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he has wicked strong strength. I mean, like, I guess he was in the army on Titan, which, I mean, the that's where Vicious was from too, right? Like,
Yeah.
maybe not the same squadron, but like, I don't know.
All the bad stuff happens on Titan.
Seems that way.
Where are we dropping?
Where we drop
Oh,
it on
man.
Titan? Oh no, genetic experiments again. Damn it. I mean, Elektra was also in the same group and she didn't have the wicked crazy superpowers. So I don't know.
Yeah, and she had the vaccine nanobots.
Yeah, because they swap fluids.
Right, like everybody else who and the whole city of people. So it clearly wasn't the nanobots. You know, because the whole city of people now has all those nanobots in their blood. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I see a pensive, thoughtful look on your face.
No, I just I don't know. I get that Vincent is a villain who's got to have a crazy bad thing to do because that's what they got to stop the villain from doing, but the motivations just really don't do it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why did he want to kill a whole city of people? Like he never really did his big "this is why I'm a villain" speech.
That is true. We know that he lost his memory. So I mean, and it could just be a different personality taking over, but it's not even it wasn't, I don't want to say that really wasn't explained, but it never really we never got closure for him realizing that what happened. And I don't know. I get what you're saying.
It kind of felt like a Joker, like
Yeah.
some men just want to watch the world burn kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just like killing people.
Yeah. And it's maybe there's some logic. You could be like, well, if I kill everybody in the dream world, I'll wake up or something.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. That even wasn't really, he didn't even explore that himself in the small monologue that he had near the end, or the many other monologues that he had throughout the entire movie. He had like 4 separate monologues.
Yeah.
All of which were just very philosophical in nature about with the game solitaire, and when there's one left, that's when the game is over. And that's when you've won. You know, like it's all very philosophical and very esoteric, and there it kind of was like a wild ass cult leader vibes I got from him for most of it. But
it brought to mind the rail tracer from Bakano for me.
You're right. You're right.
Flashback to episode 1.
He just does it because he wants to. Yeah. No, you're right.
Well, and I'm just killing people, but it's fine because they don't exist because you're all just inside my mind. Ooh, that's quirky.
Yeah.
What did Spike say? Like, you're an original.
But at least he said that shit out loud. Like, that's the thing. Like,
I laughed at that part because I thought, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's God. I wish that there was more of a thing like laid out where it's like, this is my motivation for doing this. Besides, I just want to murder everybody. I want to win the game of solitaire. Like, it's like it got real Kingdom Heartsy there when he's playing solitaire and talking to the other guy. Got some real Xehanort vibes.
Yes.
But yeah, it's him manifestoing at different people. I don't know. I just wish he elaborated on his worldview a little more.
Yeah. I wish there was more time given to Vincent's character, and I would have been all right if they subtracted a couple of the scenes that they had.
There were a lot of scenes of like Spike just walking around.
Yeah.
Maybe
Trying to get intel.
and they were like not short scenes like to establish a shot. Like a 10-second establishing shot of Spike walking up to some people or whatever, but like 3, 4, 5 minute long scenes of just a song playing and a character walking around and doing stuff.
Makes you feel like they were trying to fill in like time.
The scene where he gets the big pottery.
Yeah,
that one felt a little inflated there.
The vessel.
He meets the guy. It's like, follow me up these stairs, down these stairs, past these small children, and then we go through the cubby.
yeah,
You go through a cubby when there was a door on the other side.
yeah. Hold on, I gotta greet all my friends here along the way. Yeah, no, there were definitely some time filler things in there, which I mean the movie was 2 hours long.
Yeah,
it wasn't a short movie. Like they didn't need to do that.
Yes,
unless they just wanted to flex those like animation muscles in those moments.
maybe.
I think that is kind of one of the failings of this movie is that it doesn't have the same snappy pacing that the series did, because each episode's only 22, 24 minutes long. And, they were just snappy with plot point, conclusion.
Even within those 22 episodes, when there was a bad guy, like we knew what they were. We knew what their backstory was by the end of the episode, and if we had some emotion towards the evil villain, that we would feel bad for them, where like we would feel justified that things were taken care of. With Vincent, it's just like I felt nothing at all. I didn't feel bad for him, because just like I feel like I didn't get to know the character too much, and then I don't know. I mean, I felt all right that he's gone. So I mean, now people are gonna live, but it's just. I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, I mean, Vicious had 5 episodes, 20 minutes each, a shorter amount of runtime for his episodes, and it was a real good story. You got to know a lot about Vicious and that core story of, Spike and Vicious and the other. And, Spike having a link to it helped, obviously, give some emotional weight to it. But yeah, like Vincent had no connection to any of the people on the Bebop. He was just a guy that's like, oh, he just has a big ass bounty on his head, and Faye happened to be nearby when he blew up the truck. Yeah. Which, by the way, they didn't explain that at all, that she was cool initially and then later she wasn't. I don't know.
That is something that I didn't consider. You're absolutely right. Unless her ship was contained, but yeah, she was breathing that air.
You would think it would have to be, because you would use the ships out in space. Yes, I mean, it has to be contained. It makes sense why after she got it, because she literally walked into the room.
That makes sense.
But I mean, I get it. Like without I don't know, without sitting and thinking about it, like you would think that she would have got it.
You're right.
Back to what you were saying earlier, it definitely felt a lot less personal.
Yeah.
Victor was just another bad guy. I mean, Vicious was a very special bad guy, and Victor didn't feel like a bad guy that maybe had a full movie's worth of crazy charisma, like a Joker. He is not vicious. He doesn't have quite enough charisma for the role.
I think you're right. If you're going to have someone who is that aimless murderer that doesn't really have an aim, he has to bring something else to the table. If you're not going to bring a firm resolution, Heath Ledger Joker was charismatic as fuck, and that made the whole movie amazing. Whereas, if you put Vincent in that movie,
this guy just talks about his dreams.
Yeah.
All the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt like the Teddy Bomber got more plot than this dude did.
No kidding, right?
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It felt a few times during the movie that it was a sort of victory lap or best of, where hey, remember these guys kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I thought it was kind of odd was when Spike fell off the bridge and was healed by the Native American.
And that was the same from the TV show, I think, right? I think they're at the end of the episode, the end of the series.
He was the one that was looking up into the sky and said, "That's a fallen warrior."
Yeah.
I don't know, just what was he doing there? Because I thought
that's true.
I thought that man was on Earth. I can't remember what planet this takes place on, but it wasn't Earth.
It was super totally Earth. They were on the Eiffel Tower at the end.
Oh, I mean,
and there were the Twin Towers too, I guess. But I thought on Earth there were like, meteor showers on the Earth. I don't know.
You're right, though. You're right. The Earth was kept getting meteor showered, so they couldn't live on the Earth.
I don't know. Maybe they just decided to ignore that part.
I may possibly, and then just rebuild just everything. God,
I was happy with the high quality Big Shot for Bounty Hunters episode where they were riding on horses. Were those live horses?
They looked dummy.
Oh, okay.
They looked a dummy.
I thought maybe live horses.
Their legs were weird though. They were wobbling around.
Yeah, they were flopping around because they were like donuts around their waists, and they were just bouncing up and down, and the legs were flopping.
Oh, that was so fun. And those three old guys came back.
Oh, they came back a couple times. I did like that they helped save the day.
They did.
This is just like the time I flew in World War II. It's the year 2070, and I remember 1944 like it was yesterday.
You think he'd be dead? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I guess they must have just remade the Eiffel Tower. That was where I got confused, because they like straight up showed it at the end, and I was like, I thought it said Happy Halloween on the side of it. Maybe I just remembered.
It did, right?
Yeah, it had letters.
Yeah, I thought it said Happy Halloween.
Yeah, big old Halloween letters.
That must be where I got confused, because you guys are totally right about the meteor showers and that. But yeah. Oh, the CG, the animation. They did use some CG in the anime. That's the other thing I wanted to bring up at least a little bit. But they did a really good job for 2001 or 2000 CG of hiding it and not making it look.
I was gonna say it
Yes.
didn't look CG for the most part, so that's really good.
Yeah, they did. It was mostly like in the Spike flying, the flight.
Oh, you're right.
The dog fight.
Mm-hmm.
The dog fight, and then there were a couple of shots where it would like zoom back, like in the subway car when it was like real up close on Vincent and zoomed way out in the subway car to like Electra. It showed the seats were a little CGE, but they did a really good job with it all. Made it not look bad. So, because it's real easy to make CG look really bad even today.
Oh, first season of Sailor Moon Crystal. Woohoo.
Shoot.
Yeah, it was like a new toy at that time. Everybody was putting in unnecessary CG.
Yeah.
Mhm. It was nice for them to show restraint.
Yes, it doesn't feel dated.
Yeah.
It just made me feel like it was like how I said, another episode of the anime, just classic 90s anime.
When you mentioned Electra, it did kind of make me think of the fact that she and Spike had some chemistry
Mhm.
that I guess just vanished.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
You know, I kind of hate this love interest that just, you know, you go back to the series and they don't talk about her. I mean, it makes sense because I would imagine she was written after the series was done,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I suppose.
it does feel a little weird in the grand scheme of things that, you know, they bonded in their jail cells talking about their pasts and fear of death and mind wipe and then just go their separate ways off screen, whatever.
Yeah, you got a point there. I really liked their banter during their hospital fight or whatever, the pharmaceutical
Yeah.
company fight. It was so good.
Heads, I'll tell you what I know. Tails, take me on a date.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Don't think much beside that.
I don't got much else either. I
was about to say that
I touched on all the things that I wanted to touch on. I think it's interesting if the nanomachines. The only other thing I have is the whole Faye immortality thing I talked about at the start. Is like if she did, I don't know if the nanomachines make it immortal or if she's just immune to the nanomachines. But since dude, in my head canon, we're just gonna say Faye's immortal now. So she's like been cryogenically frozen and thawed, and now she's like just gonna live forever.
I guess one other thing that I kind of personally felt about the music in this movie was it felt a little less tight and focused than in the series. In the
Yeah.
series, it was all big
Mhm.
band jazz, and in this movie, it felt that it veered a little more towards funk, maybe pop, and every once in a
Yeah.
while when they were talking about the virus, it went towards a more weird ambient
Yeah, like a weird,
Yeah.
2000s trancey kind of vibe. Yeah.
I don't know, it just felt a little bit too varied, which is I
Mhm.
guess a weird kind of complaint, but it just felt like I got a little bit of musical whiplash when they would change the tracks.
I feel like that hurt the aesthetic a little bit. Whereas the series, it held that strong, jazz noir aesthetic through the whole 22 episodes, 24, however many episodes it was. And in this, it's even the tone from one scene to the next is, I don't know, it doesn't gel sometimes. Like Spike, he gets picked up by Jet from the Native American dude, and like they're having like a serious moment to like just leave it be. And then all of a sudden it's like, Ed's here. Like
Why is my leg so heavy?
it was a real hard swing, it felt like in that moment. So I totally get. I feel like the tonal shifts were kind of hard, much harder than they were in the show.
So odd that so much of this movie feels like it has problems that something that is an hour and 50 minutes should not have.
Yeah.
It's got plenty of time to gradually ease between the tones, but instead,
Yeah. They hurriedly jammed them all in there, but then they also had the long scenes of meandering in between it.
All right. Who wants to go first on the numbers? Mason. It's from Call of Duty. Cause I'm thinking about Call of Duty because of Spike Spiegel and Jack Dempsey and Steve Bloom.
Steve Bloom has done so much voice acting is unbelievable.
Legendary.
I'm surprised you didn't know that, Hero. Like, did you grow up watching Toonami?
Dude, so here's the thing. Like, I was gonna bring it up during the last episode, but we sometimes we just go and I get onto what you guys are talking about and I just forget what I want to bring up. And I wanted to bring up Stephen Bloom, but I just forgot all about it. And once we stopped, I go, damn it! I didn't bring up Stephen Bloom. I met the dude.
You met Steve Bloom.
Tell me.
Yeah,
Elaborate.
I met Steve Bloom. Yeah, I went to it was Colossal Con back in I think it was not 2008. It was like 2013 or something. And there was a lot of different people there. It was like Vic Mignogna and a bunch of Johnny Young Bosch, and I got to meet all of them. And Stephen Bloom was pretty cool. He's a really cool dude, really down to earth, and I don't know. He's just a good dude. I don't know. Nothing really crazy happened like I met Johnny Young Bosch, but Stephen Bloom is a really good dude.
Yeah, they're people just like the rest of us. Everything I've heard about Steve Bloom is that he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he doesn't make it seem like he's I don't know, high above anybody. You know, that's good to be like just to be level headed.
That is super cool.
He is Sub-Zero also.
Yeah, he's so many.
In which one?
11.
Okay, there's
the most recent Sub-Zero.
Like you're telling me there were like 11 options. I mean, the first few didn't have voice acting, but
he's not the Sub-Zero that turned into Noob Saibot. Okay, that's. Oh, this isn't the Mortal Kombat lorecast? Sorry, hold on. Let me.
Dude, Mortal Kombat is wild.
Yes,
we should probably talk. We should go over the Mortal Kombat lore sometime. Yeah. I would love that.
Have a discussion about the Mortal Kombat lore. Oh no, there's too many timelines now.
All right. Well, so we all gave Cowboy Bebop the series straight 10s out of 10s.
Oh yeah,
we went full 10s. I think that just the quick. I don't know. I don't want to say it was like popcorn that filled your stomach, but like watching the movie, I've come to appreciate the episodic nature of the series. The episode starts, they're poor, they find a bad guy, they run into the bad guy, fail to catch the bad guy, fight the bad guy dies, they're still poor. Like just the 20 minutes of, running through that cycle, that the longer format just doesn't suit maybe it was just a directional decision to draw that stuff out more than they maybe needed to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with the tonal shifts and stuff like that, it does hurt it a bit. I feel like this would have been, if they could adapt it into a 20-minute episode, it would be a banger.
They could definitely do that.
Or even just 2 episodes. Like, do this with Gren, like make a 2-episode mid-bar with Vincent, and it'd be pretty cool, I think, because then you could just cut all the fat off of it and get down to the meat of it. I think I'm probably going to, I don't know, I'm between, my mind, I go anywhere between like at any moment, I'm between like a 6 and a 9 on this thing. I'll rest somewhere in the middle. I'll just go with a 7.5 just to average it out.
Do you want to go Hero or?
Yeah, I mean, with the fact that it could have been just a 20-minute episode, and if it was a 20-minute episode, it would be a banger. Like, this is definitely not a 10. Like, I would give this movie like an 8.5, like just solid 8.5. I didn't hate it, but I just felt like there was not enough meat, and I got more meat out of 20-minute episodes than did out of a 2-hour movie, which kind of made me a little upset.
Yeah, I pretty much share those same sentiments. I guess I'll pick the number in the middle. That's an 8. I would say pretty much in the neighborhood between 7 to 8.5 is where I would go. So I definitely agree that would be a banger 22-minute episode as a 2-hour long experience. It was fine. It was good, but it wasn't great. It wasn't, it wasn't so tight like an episode of Cowboy Bebop this series was. Mm-hmm. It had lots of fat and downtime, and not even fat and downtime that was super awesome. They could have had some more scenes with just them hanging out.
It wasn't like productive.
Yeah.
There could have been like emotional, like real emotional moments in there somewhere, or character development. But I mean, when you come out and say like, yeah, this is between episodes 22 and 23 of the show, like
it's just there. It's just there.
It's in the middle. You can't do much with the character development side of things, I guess, because
I don't even particularly know what that changed. Like they could have picked probably a few different spaces between episodes.
They really could have.
They could have plopped it anywhere.
Like, I want to look up like when, like what happened in between those two, like episodes. What was episode 22? What was episode 23? And because like you guys were saying, it doesn't make any sense why it was what it was.
Well, 22 was Cowboy Funk.
I really feel like and this is I get this way whenever like a new like DBZ movie came out, or even like when the Trigun movie came out, Badland Rumble. Like it was just something. It was so nice to see them caring about the show and wanting to do something more, but it's just it wasn't. It made you feel like it really wasn't. I don't want to say it wasn't Cowboy Bebop, because it was. But it's just like it wasn't jazzy like how they had it originally. They're trying to keep up with the times and what music was hip, I guess. But Cowboy Bebop was jazz that you can't. I don't know. It's
So 22 was Cowboy Funk. 23 was Brain Scratch.
Okay, so 22 is Teddy Bomber.
22 was Teddy Bomber. 23 was the guy who was a cult from inside of his brain. But yeah, it doesn't even feel connected to those episodes. No. They don't even have a throwaway like, oh man, that sure was a rough thing we had there with Andy and the Teddy Bomber. And then at the end, hey, there's some rumblings of a new cult going out. Or, there's no connection. Mm-hmm. They could have put it anywhere.
Yeah, there was really no connective tissue to any other. I think that's the other thing that kind of weirds me out about the whole thing, that kind of brings it down, is that there's just no. I know that between the episodes there wasn't connective tissue really either, but it didn't need to, because it's a series. This
is a movie.
This is a movie that fits within the world of this 25 episode series. Like, there needs to be something to anchor it in besides the characters and the setting, in my opinion. Like, they need to reference something. Like, the Demon Slayer movie is straight up like the end of the first season is like, oh dog, here's the train. And at the end of the movie, they're like, all right, we're going to this next place that is where season 2 happens. So it's like you said, it's like they could have said something like, oh, Teddy Bomber this, or cult leader that.
It could have been something as even as just simple as just like they're reading a newspaper and just had Teddy Bomber on it or something. Yep. It's just something is just simple.
100%. Yeah. It's ultimately just, I think, even though we all gave it really good scores, I think it's just ultimately disappointing because of the high that the series was.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it would be hard to follow up that series with something that would be just as satisfying in one single experience. I don't know. It's just there's something about the way that the episodes were 22 minutes long that was just perfect for the format.
Mhm.
And I think that's the thing, is the movie can't be 22 minutes long. And that's the problem.
It really stinks that's the issue. It's like, oh dang it, they just couldn't. A guy who can make perfect 22-minute episodes is struggling with the 2-hour.
Yeah.
Was it made by the same guy?
It was the guy who did all of the Shinichiro Watanabe, the guy who did all the Vicious episodes, I think.
And that's wild too, because you would really think that, you know, for it being a 2-hour movie experience, you would think we would want to feel more for the guy we're supposed to be stopping. Like, it's just, I don't know. I really, really wish they would have done something more with that villain, and it make us feel bad he lost his memory. Like, it was just, it was literally just kind of just brought up and thrown away.
It really was.
Yeah, not very sympathetic.
Yes.
Not a very sympathetic character.
Mm-hmm.
So Time Muffin, I made a mistake. I let Hero drive for a little bit. We traded paint with a government spaceship, and we got a bounty on our heads.
Well, why on earth, Hero? What were you thinking?
The only thing that, I just wanted something to eat. I just want some meat, man. We keep eating some ramen. I just want meat.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
No,
Told
please.
him brake is on the left, gas on the right, 1 foot at a time. Never listens.
Just all I could think of was meat.
Don't forget the nitrous is by your thumb, okay? Don't push it unless you need to, okay? 'Cause you absolutely need to.
Well, we better get out of here and also pick up some beef for Hero's bell peppers. I'm good with my chainsaw noodles. That's fine by me.
Fuck yeah, chainsaw noodles. Let's go.
My noodles exploded.
All right, here you can press the nitrous button now.
Hey!